Well, it's not looking very good for the starfruit tree here. You know, I was pushing the envelope trying to grow this subtropical species out here, and I did my best to protect it over the winter without adding any type of a heating element out here. But this tree appears to be dead at this point. So an easy way to check to tell if the tree is actually dead or not is to simply just scrape back some of the bark here, and beneath the bark or the skin of the tree is what's known as the cambium layer. And if the tree is still alive, you'll see some green underneath the bark. So let's see what we got here. So as you can see, it's brown, not green. Let me go ahead and scrape off a little bit more. So yeah, it's safe to say this tree is dead. So even though this is a bit of a disappointment, it's okay. I knew I was experimenting when I put this tree in the ground in the first place. I'm not going to be replacing this with something I know is going to do well out here, and that's the Seaberry, also known as the sea buckthorn, which is cold hardy all the way down to zone 3. I'll be talking more about that plant shortly. But I will say this was quite an expensive experiment. This tree cost me $50. So in the future, what I'm probably going to do when trying to push the envelope or locate a microclimate in the yard, I'll probably go with the least expensive plant, and if I see I'm having some success, then I may go ahead and invest a little bit more and put something like this in its place and give it a try again. So here are my Seaberry plants. I've got 4 females and 1 male plant. The females produce the edible orange berries, and they require a pollinator, a male plant, so that's why I've got that in the mix. Now these are deciduous trees, meaning they drop their leaves in the winter time, so they're great for creating mulch in the garden. When they start to re-emerge with fresh foliage, it's a nice showy silvery green leaf, and the berries are very ornamental as well. They put off an orange cluster of berries in abundance. Now besides being an ornamental and an edible, these plants are commonly used as a windbreak and a privacy hedge as well. They're relatively easy to grow, they're very hardy, and can handle many different types of weather conditions. But one of the most impressive aspects of this plant is that it's a nitrogen fixer. So the roots of this plant has a symbiotic relationship with the soil bacteria, which helps to fix nitrogen and feed the plant itself and its surrounding plants. These trees generally get about 10 to 12 feet with a little bit of pruning. They do have thorns on them, you got to be a little bit careful. Now I usually don't like to pull up plants by their roots, as I like to keep the soil food web intact, but because I'm going to be replanting in the same exact place, I'm going to go ahead and pull this whole tree out here. So this Seaberry here is the Escola varietal, and I picked this up over at rollingrivernursery.com. They're located in Oakland, California. Now the only thing special I'm going to do in putting this plant in the ground is I'm going to dust the roots a bit with some of this mycos here. This is a mycorrhizal fungi. It's going to help and aid in root development of the plant and also nutrient and water uptake. I'm going to push back this top layer of wood chip mulch here. Spoon of that mycos, and I'll also dust the plant root ball here. Just backfill this in. I'm just going to water this in real good. And as you can see, there's already some nice budding out happening on this Seaberry. Alright everybody, well thanks for tuning in and following along. Stay tuned, much more to come.